Hello everyone, this is INE Foundation Lab 3 and section 2.1 Ranking. Okay, before I conclude this section, let me refresh or review what is ranking and how we can conclude ranking on Cisco switches. Okay, Cisco switches support protocol called dynamic trunking protocol. It is trunk protocol on Cisco switches. DTP or Dynamic Trunking Protocol is Cisco proprietary and it's used to automatically negotiate trunks between Cisco switches. Okay, we can configure Dynamic Trunking Protocol behavior on Cisco switches by 4 commands. One is switch port mode access, the other one is switch port mode trunk, switch port mode dynamic auto, and switch port mode dynamic disable. And for disabling DTP, we can use switch port no negotiate. Okay, switch port mode access. If we configure this command on Cisco switch interfaces, by configuring this command only allows one VLAN to that port. If you configure this command on Cisco port or Cisco interfaces, it allows only one VLAN, and it becomes a non-trunking interface or permanent non-trunking interface, and it will disable DTP negotiation. Okay, we can disable DTP negotiation or disable dynamic trunking protocol either by switch port mode access or by switch port no negotiate command. These two commands will disable DTP negotiation or trunk negotiation. Switch port mode access will force the port to become access port, and it is permanent non-trunking mode or port. Okay, if one side of port is configured as access and the other side is configured as dynamic auto, it will become access. One side access, the other side is dynamic disable, it will become access. And we can't have one side access and one side trunk, it will not work, this is limited. If one side is configured as access and the other one is configured as access, it will become access. Okay, the other one is switch port mode trunk. It enables the interface to be sent in permanent trunking mode. It will force the interface to become permanent trunking interface, and establishes negotiation to convert the neighboring link to become a trunk link and become trunk port if the neighboring interface is set to trunk, dynamic disable mode or dynamic auto. Okay, switch port mode trunk will force switch interface to be permanent trunk interface, and we can't have one side access on the other one side trunk. Okay, if one side is trunk and the other side is dynamic auto, it will become trunk. And one side is trunk, the other side is dynamic disable, it will become trunk either. one side triangle, the other side triangle, it is triangle. One we can't have one side triangle and the other side access, it is limited. You need to understand the triangle. Okay, the supermode triangle will force the interface to become triangle. The other one is switch port mode dynamic auto. Okay, this dynamic auto makes the interface passively wait to receive a negotiation message to make itself a triangle. This dynamic auto will not initiate trunking negotiation messages. This this is this mode passively waits to become trunk. And for this reason, if one side is dynamic auto and the other side is dynamic auto, because dynamic auto is not initiating trunking negotiation or it's not sending negotiation messages, it will become access. If one side is dynamic auto, the other one is dynamic desirable, it will become trunk because dynamic desirable will initiate trunking negotiation messages. If one side is dynamic auto and the other one is trunk, this will become trunk. If one side is dynamic auto, the other side is access, it will become access. Dynamic auto is waiting for becoming trunk. It's not initiating trunk negotiation messages. Okay, switch port. The other one is switch port mode dynamic desirable. This port, if you convert this command on the port initiates trunking by sending negotiation messages. And let other port to dynamically choose whether to start using trunking. For this reason, because it is initiating trunking by sending negotiation messages. If one side is dynamic desirable and the other side is dynamic auto, it will become trunk. One side dynamic desirable, the other side dynamic desirable, it will become trunk. One side dynamic desirable, the other side trunk, it will become trunk. And one side is dynamic desirable and the other side is access, it will become access. If you convert one port to become access, the other side will become access instead trunk. We cannot convert access the other time. And switch port mode negotiate. We can this command will disable dynamic trunking protocol. Or it will disable trunk negotiation. Okay, trunk configuration. As we know, Cisco support two kinds of encapsulation. One is .1Q and the other one is ISL. For trunking on the interface, on the interface number, we simply use switch port mode trunk. We have to first specify encapsulation. It's working with .1Q or ISL. .1Q is more useful nowadays. First, we choose our encapsulation, then we use switch port mode trunk. And by default, this command allows all VLANs to be transmitted over the trunk link, and we can change this behavior by switch port mode trunk allowed VLAN command on our physical interface. By this command, we can specify, we can choose which VLANs are allowed to transmit or transfer on trunk links. To verification, we use showdown interface, gigabit interface number, or show interface trunk for our verification of trunk interface. Okay, this is Terang. This is how we can calculate Terang on what is dynamic timing protocol on Cisco switches. This is our tagging concept. Okay, and let's configure this section. Okay, we have to configure switch 3 links to switch 1 and switch 4. This is dot 1 802.1q. This is .1q. IEEE.1q. Terang encapsulation. We have to use encapsulation .1q. Sure, .1q. And ensure that these term links are dynamically negotiated. This dynamically negotiated means we have to use dynamic desirable instead of term. Dynamic desirable instead of term. Okay, let's configure our switch 1. Show IP interface brief. Switch 1 links switch 3 links to switch 1 and switch 4. Switch 3 links. Then go show CDP. Show CDP neighbor command. So local interface to switch 4 and switch 1. We have to configure these interfaces as ensure that these links are dynamically negotiated. Okay, then let's configure config T. Interface range. Switch 1 and switch 4. Ethernet 0/0 1 and Ethernet 0/1 slash 0 and 1. Switch port, we have to press switch port triangle. Encapsulation, we have ISL or .1q, we have to choose .1q. And we have to make sure that these are dynamically negotiated. Switch port mode. We have access, triangle, or dynamic, which is set triangle mode to dynamically negotiate access or triangle. We have to dynamic, disable the dynamically negotiated command. For dynamic negotiation, we have to use dynamic now. Dynamic. We have we can choose either auto or desirable. Auto is not initiating trunking, but desirable is auto is possibly waiting for trunk to become trunk, and but desirable will initiate trunking negotiation, which is dynamic desirable. Okay, config Okay, let's conquer switch 1 and switch the other side. Switch 1. If I do show CDP neighbor, config T, interface range, to switch two links are these local links. Ethernet 0/0 and 1. Switch port, triangle, encapsulation, .1q and switch port mode of the dynamic disable. And on switch 4, show CDP neighbor, config T, interface range, Ethernet, this is this interfaces. 1, switch port, trunk encapsulation .1q and switch port mode dynamic disable. Okay, this is the first part. Second part is conquer switch two links to switch 4 as 82.1q trunk. Encapsulation should be trunk. Encapsulation should be .1q like this. And ensure that these trunk links are not dynamic. Okay, this link should not be dynamically negotiated. It should be it should be trunk. And switch 2 links to switch 4. We have to use switch port mode trunk. Yeah. Design for dynamic design model, and we have to start switch port mode. It's set payment tracking mode. It's not dynamics. Set in payment dynamic. Okay, let's switch to on switch 4. But let's configure switch 4 first. Switch 2 links on 0/0 and 0/1. Interface range Ethernet 0/0 and 1. Switch port triangle encapsulation .1q and switch port mode. This time it should be triangle. And let's conquer switch 2. Show CDP neighbor to our switch 4. This time use config T, interface range, alternate 0/1 and 0/0 and 1. Switch port encapsulation port trunk encapsulation.1q and switch port mode. This time should be trunk. Okay, let me switch 2 and switch 4 and come switch 1 port. This time should be .1q trunk and disable trunk negotiation on okay, this is disable trunk negotiation on this link. Yeah, it means we have to use switch port mode non-negotiate. This trunking so dynamic trunk protocol on this interface. The config T interface alternate 0/1 switch port mode switch port trunk encapsulation .1q and switch port mode trunk, and we have to disable trunk negotiation. Switch port mode no negotiate. This is switch port mode. This no negotiate. The device will not engage in negotiation protocol on this interface. No negotiate. This will disable dynamic trunking protocol. That's it. Okay, for verification, we can use show interface trunk. This is how we have configured. This is our mode. This on means we have configured trunk on this interface, and this is dynamic disable. So switch one, show interface trunk. We have dynamic disable on this side. Let's start switch 2. Show interface trunk. We have disable to 1, switch 2, switch 4 and 1. Dynamic disable. to interface Ethernet CS/1 should be dynamic desirable either. Switch port mode dynamic desirable. Okay, then this is complete. Okay, because I have configured non-negotiate, it can become dynamic desirable. Okay, let's do. Gosh, shut on pipe section. Shut on interface. I have configured switch port non-negotiate. If you have this command, it can become dynamic desirable or dynamic auto. Okay. Okay, that's it. This was thank you section. I hope you have enjoyed this video and thank you for being.